Hi, today I'm going to give you a story about a typical Japanese woman who has big concern about her future. So here's the story. I'm a 23-year-old woman who recently got married. My husband is 2 years older than me, and we met at my previous job. I think he's a calm, kind person and would make a good husband, but he's so different from my ideal type that I'm starting to wonder if I made the right decision to get married. My husband hasn't had any dating experience with women other than me, so he is not good at things that women like. For example, like surprises or being escorted. Even when we were dating, I didn't have many exciting experiences, and honestly, there were many times when I felt unsatisfied. Even when I told him I wanted him to do more things like that, he didn't really understand, and I continued dating him while feeling unsatisfied because he doesn't have much experience with women. Even his kisses are not very good. He used to kiss me often when we first started dating, but now I don't really feel the desire to kiss him, and I can't see my husband as a sexual being. When we were dating, I thought about breaking up and looking for someone else several times, but I lacked self-confidence and wondered if I could find someone better even if we broke up. So I didn't have the courage to take action. Also, because I wanted the children, I just went with the flow and got married. Now, I regret that. I'm still young and wanted to enjoy romance more, and when I think about whether I really want to have children with my husband, I don't think I do. Of course, I am very grateful to my husband for the life I am living now, but also I feel that it will be hard for me to stay with him for the next several decades while still holding on to feelings of regret, and it will be disrespectful to him. I would like I would like you to tell me how I can suppress these feelings even a little bit. I'm sorry for the poor writing. So let's take a look at the viewers' comment. Viewers' comments. First comment. You are not alone. Your husband probably thinks he'd like to meet a woman better than you two, but he doesn't show it and compromises with you. He married you. There's no way someone like that will come along again. You should just think that way. And the next comment. The alimony increases in proportion to the length of the marriage, and if there is infidelity, it will be even higher. You seem to have the dangerous tendency to run off and have an affair at the first opportunity, rather than becoming a divorced single mother. Now is the time to make a decision for your husband's sake too. Of course, divorce requires the consent of the other party, but if you convey your honest feelings, your husband will probably either give up or be dumbfounded and eventually agree. And the next comment. You've only recently gotten married and you already have such regrets. If you are in your early 20s, weren't there other men who asked you out? Or even if you didn't marry your husband, you could have dated various other people, right? So why did you get married so quickly? Anyway, if you're feeling if you're feeling this way so soon after getting married, I think the marriage will eventually fail. Even if you endure it for 5 years, you'll still be in your 20s. And if you don't have children, it will be easier to remarry. If there aren't any other people who are interested in you besides your husband, the chances of finding someone after a divorce might be low. Even if there is someone who likes you, it's uncertain whether they will be as considerate and give you surprises like your ideal and be as kind as your current husband. By the way, my husband is also not good at pleasing women, but the most important condition for marriage was that he was a trustworthy person, so I decided on him. I was in my 40s, so I think I knew quite well what was important in marriage. If I were in my 20s, I might not have chosen my current husband. That's why I'm glad I didn't get married in my 20s. So in the reality, several factors contribute to lower marriage rates in Japan. Economic instability, demanding work culture, difficulty balancing career and family, changing social values with less emphasis on traditional marriage, and a declining interest in romantic relationships, especially among younger generations. So actually, it happens all the time, everywhere. In the past, we didn't see any divorces in our neighbor and in our family members. However, currently, if you look at your family members in Japan, we have seen so many relatives actually experience their divorces. For example, let's take some examples from my wife's relatives. So my wife's relatives, so she has many cousins, and actually her uncle, her cousin, her father's older brother has two kids, and they are cousins of my wife, and both have two kids. However, after 5 years from their marriage, they experienced the divorce. And now that, the divorce rate has been increasing in Japan. So, latest statistics said, so one couple out of three couples actually experience their divorces. So, and actually it has been still lower than the average, the world average has. However, like explained, it has been increased. For example, like 30 years ago, it was just half of what it is now today. So, and due to the change of our lifestyle and our social perception, and every days, we have so many pressures on our work, and and also the raising kids, raising kids for the entire Japanese family, having really, it's like the bigger burden for them